What is going on, Cowboy Nation, and even the haters that aren't a part of Cowboy Nation? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil, and like always, my co-host, GameTime Bryan. What's up, Bryan?
What up, Phil? What's going on, fam? What's going on, everybody? Ready to rock or what?
No, I'm going, man. I'm ready. I'm excited, man. I have my cup of coffee here. I took a little nap to kind of recharge my batteries. Holiday season, that's the only time that you can really get a little nap in, and you wake up not knowing what day it is. That's that time of year right now where it's right about New Year's. I'm excited about the matchup going forward. You know, whether it's backups, the battle of the backups, whether it's keep us in contention for the the division in general until we don't know what's going to happen later on in the weekend. But we do know for sure that the Dallas Cowboys are going to finally give Amazon some viewing time and play on a Thursday night football, which is the last Thursday night football of the season. But excited, man. I'm excited to be here. And Bryan, let's look at the chat real quick. We had Brooklyn Joe, of course, in here giving us the Terrell Owens news. He just called Terrell Owens. The Terrell Owens called him and is looking for some Titan tickets. I don't think that's going to be a problem with how the Titans are possibly putting in some backups because, like I said before, next week's game is a little bit more decisive of what's, the playoff contentions and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't jump too far into it, but I just know that the word on the street is there's a lot of backups playing. So what have you heard on your side?
Yeah. What I'm hearing is that Derrick Henry is doubtful, will not play. Tony Pollard is questionable. They're going to work him out before the game. I say if he's got a thigh contusion, either give him limited reps or give him the night off. If we can't beat them without Tony Pollard, then we have issues.
I think there's a couple of people in that same category.
And Micah Parsons going to do a walkthrough type of deal. He's playing. He did something at home, stupid, but expect him to play.
So as we continue to look at the chat, we have Mike Aldana in here. Of course, Angelica Barone holding it down, talking to each other about maybe Kyle Pitts, for example. You were bringing him up as well. I heard that he's kind of in a possible trade market situation, but I would imagine they'd want to give up a lot for him. What do you think? What's your whole thought about that?
I love our tight end. What are we going to give for Kyle Pitts? I'm not giving a 1. He hasn't lived up to the 1 he, I mean,
yeah,
I just agree. Wouldn't. We got way too many other needs, especially.
Well, is he a blocking tight end or is he a receiving tight end?
It's a big talent. So this is what I'll say. It would be at the end of the first round, so not out of the question if you really think about it. Even if we win one round and God forbid, you're still looking at what, in 26, 27.
Yeah, I also look at the fact that we don't really jump out to free agency and go, okay, we're gonna pick this guy, pick that guy, and I like this one. And no, it's just we rely on these draft picks. So to be able to put something out there for a receiving tight end when we have I'm not trying to put him in the same category, golly, different athletic ability, but that's what we had Dalton Schultz. I mean, the guy couldn't block as well, and he was just he's Dak's comfort zone. And I mean, I know Kyle Pitts would definitely, bring a whole other element, but at the same time, I look at what are we giving up for a guy like that as well, too. So
Michael Dana says, can we, swap
Schultz or Pittman. Oh, I would do that in a heartbeat, man. Do that.
And for Pitts.
For Pitts,
We'll
yeah.
save
Pittman.
money
Oh,
on
for
that
Pittman.
deal.
Pittman. I
Actually.
think he's talking about Michael
Well,
Pittman,
no, I
right?
think
Is he talking
it's-
about the running back? What's he talking
No.
about?
I think it's Pitts, right?
Okay.
I think you have to mean Kyle Pitts, right? That's my guess. But Mark Hudson's in the house. How you doing, buddy?
But
yeah,
as
I'm hoping. I said Kyle Pitts. I think that's who he meant. So
yeah.
if not, then
Well,
we're going
I mean,
on
we're
a tangent.
we're
I
going
can't
on a
imagine
subject.
that they're looking to get rid of him.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start some rumors around the windmill and the water cooler and let
I think
people
we're
start.
good at tight end. I really do.
I like what we've
Sorry.
have. I like what they did last
Yeah.
game. Great blocking together. They're really buddy. I really like that whole situation. Schultz, I think he's more the odd man out. I mean, the contract, you can't demand a contract with what you put up this year, but at the same time,
Hey, listen,
it just
Mike
hopefully helps
Aldana,
us.
if we win the Super Bowl and we're picking 32, yeah, I'll take Kyle Pitts. I doubt they'll take our pick, though. I'm sure they'll want more than just 32 pick.
Yeah.
Number 32. So I would say probably not. But you mentioned T.O., and I want to touch on him. Absolutely not. Not happening. It's a pipe dream. He's reaching out to everything and everybody. He's 48, 49 years old.
49 years old.
He needs to relax. He needs to go do something. If you really want to play ball, go to the
we don't
go
need
play for
somebody
the
dying on the
XFL. Go
field.
contact The Rock. You can make a nice amount of money doing that.
You smell what the T.O.'s cooking.
Come
I like
on.
it.
Roland's is in the house.
And then Des Bryant jumped on it. He's like, "Hey, if this is happening, man, sign me up." So it's just like, "Oh, we're just gonna be part whipping out the legends and stuff."
Well, that was my thing. If we're gonna bring anybody back, bring Des back.
Yeah. I'd be
I'm
more on that
somebody
one.
back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, T.O. burned his bridge here a long time ago.
Well, I mean,
Sorry,
not even.
T.O., you got issues, bro.
It wasn't even a month ago he was talking smack about the Cowboys and the whole the Odell and how Odell should sue and he shouldn't even think about signing with them. And then you turn around. That's the reason why you don't burn your bridges,
It's a
man.
shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame because he's got issues. I don't know what they are, but he's got some serious issues. He's dodging the whole Hall of Fame. You don't do that.
Stacy, what's up?
So,
Jack Meeker.
No, thank you. Jack Meeker, what's up?
Yes. Roland's review holding it down as well too. It's coming through. I appreciate it a lot. Happy possible close to the New Year's. I mean, by the end of the week, bam, there it is. Going to be 2023. The Dallas Cowboys so far this year. We've had our ups and downs. The year of backups, the year of inconsistencies, the year of what's some of the future of some of these guys. Obviously, in the beginning of the season, we lost Dak Prescott, and okay, where's the season going to go from there? I know I was not feeling the best coming out of that Tampa game as well, and then all of a sudden, Cooper Rush is able to hold down the fort, and the defense is playing really electric. And then, of course, Tyron Smith with his whole injury, and then we don't know what's going to happen with him, and he comes back at the right time. Everything seems to be a timing, and it sucks right now that your secondary is kind of like you got to figure stuff out, but at the same time, what would have happened if Brown and Lewis played all season? You would not know what you have in Deron Bland, and now you're throwing him into the to the fire, and he's showing that he can perform, and definitely a high candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year in my opinion. But that's different with the NFL.
I agree, Stacy.
What's Stacy saying?
Yeah, Stacy says T.O. needs psychological help.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, I agree.
It's still a mystery whether he tried to kill himself or not when he was with Dallas. When he was, he had some really serious mental issues. I don't know, man. He has to learn how to. He has to find something that will. He was on a TV show a couple years ago. He left there because he didn't like how he was being treated. He's got a weird sense of entitlement, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Alan Lawless, welcome to the show.
Yeah, Jack Meeker saying he's loving the fact that it's a short week. It's understandable, man. Yeah. Like, we remember doing this during Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving was another time where it was a really short time, Thursday night football, I guess it wasn't a Thursday night at that time, but still, this year is a lot different. I mean, to go and win another 11-plus year season, back-to-back, to go to the playoffs back-to-back.
Love that name.
What's that, Link?
Hello, I love that name. Link Hellifield?
Oh,
It's all about us getting healthy at the right and catch fire. I've been saying that for a couple weeks. Everybody's probably tired of hearing it.
No, I
didn't mean to cut you off, Phil.
No, I was just saying in the sense that this season has been something special. We're winning on Thanksgiving, something we hadn't done for years. This team goes down with an injuries. What happened with the Jason Garrett type of era? We just play your game plan, and our backups are just going to play. And not adjusting at all. I mean, obviously, Kellen Moore is going through his, growth spurt here, where he does at times play. He calls a really good game. I don't know if Mike McCarthy is holding his hand during the time, but for some reason, I know he whips out these. I heard this the other day on somebody's calling in on Skywalker, and somebody was talking about how Kellen Moore seems like more of a crack fiend. He has that itch, and he's like, "Oh, but come on, baby, I gotta get my trick play in." And that's that turnover we saw it, and so to see him, hopefully, let's get the other weapons involved. And so, they're always talking about adding more and more weapons. I just, when I look back at the film, for example, we'll talk about T.Y. Hilton's little thing there. When you got T.Y. on one side, what did you have on the other side? Did you notice? I didn't know if you noticed at all.
Like on that play?
On that play where T.Y. Hilton ran up that sideline.
I don't. I didn't.
Turpin was on the other side.
So I don't know.
So Turpin was on the other side running the same exact route.
Okay. I think I heard that.
And so that's what we want.
Anybody was running. Of
course there was something calling across. Right? Yes.
Now you saw that the safety went towards T.Y.
Because
whoever else was in the game is going to have single coverage.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why. When you look at it, the safety obviously had to respect the speed, because I think it wasn't. I don't think when I'm thinking back at it, I don't think he was going to the. He was the side. I think he was in the slot, and he was coming across over to that safety. So the safety had to respect the speed of Turpin, and so he couldn't pull all the way over there where T.Y. Hilton was.
Yeah.
And so of course that's why he was a bit open.
We've been calling for it, and you see why now. If you keep doing the 9 route with those two guys, like now this is like a situation. Let's say like the Eagles, they shut our run down. If I didn't know this stat when we did our recap the other day, or I didn't recall it. I did hear it. Dak was 24 for 24 throwing against zone coverage in that game. He did not have an incompletion. So for me being critical of, he struggles against zone.
Yep, that's true. I do too.
Whatever Dak did, he
woke up. That's what happened.
Since he's been back, he's been the hottest quarterback in the league. That's not me saying I like Dak. Those are the numbers. That's factual information, people. We are scoring the most, and he's the hottest quarterback in the league. Mm-hmm. And that includes Patrick Mahomes. Since he's been back.
I mean, he's definitely.
You ready for the game tomorrow night or what?
I like the element of the fact that he's running. Yeah, you got 40 yards of running that you have to add in there because of Dak Prescott, and it's just something that we've wanted to see. And then Link Hellified says, I believe Dak thought he ran out of the right time. And that's right. In that 2-minute warning, he thought maybe he timed it at 2 minutes.
That's what he thought.
And then he came back to replay.
Hey, Thomas.
You're definitely
Thomas,
right.
Tomorrow night, I'll probably be with Mark streaming, me and Phil possibly, but if not, I told him to reach out to you. Maybe you could go live, from outside of the stadium or something. You go on your phone and Mark will send you a Zoom link or something. That'd be cool to get a feel of the stadium before we go in there and kick some butt with them hot uniforms.
Yeah, they look pretty good, man. You sent me a picture of the helmet and how the helmet looked different.
Yeah, I was wrong with the helmet.
Oh, where
I hate the Thanksgiving helmet. Yeah. I don't like the gray cage, and I didn't like the old school blue star. I like our star on an all-white helmet with a white cage in the front. Man, it's like ice. I just amazed that we haven't done the all black. Right, like, why hasn't he gone all black? Why? Oh, the traditional. Well, that's coming. That's coming. If there's money in it, especially.
Well, there is.
Jerry, Steven. Steven. Money. That's all he cares about is money. Once Jerry's gone, Steven will bring out the black unis. What's up, Glimmer Man?
He got links telling us
Adam
that
Lawless. I'd like to try forward wide with CD, Gallup, Washington, Hilton. Just my opinion. Listen, that's not a bad thing, especially against certain teams where, certain situations, like we're in a 2-minute type situation. I just like the fact that we get Noah Brown off the field for the majority of the plays. I like Noah Brown. Let's not get it twisted here. I don't want us to get rid of Noah Brown, but he was playing far too many plays. Far too many. Let's get speed on the field and high-end talent. So, yeah, definitely. Randy Wilson, welcome to the show, buddy. Can y'all imagine if Dallas didn't grant Parsons that timeout he wanted until he came back and won?
Yeah, I mean they had 3 timeouts. I think they had 3 timeouts at that time, and yeah, I was a little worried. Randy. Yeah, I was like, okay, are you not going to call it? I mean, you got 3 sitting right there. Okay,
it was
they're waiting for the last
point
moment
where you weren't going to be able to use your timeouts.
Yeah. Well, I think they just wanted to see the formation.
Why keep them all?
Yeah, they were just waiting to see the formation, and then they were going to give it to him, I think, in that sense. But yeah, if your all-star guy is telling you the timeout at the end of the game when you know it's a possible, last play of the game, you give it to him, man. It does not matter if it's your last timeout or anything. If it's a difference between a play, I'll easily give all 3 of them. Oh, I know you can't call them back to back to back, but you do a little Belichick type whole, the other coach for Titan, what's his name, Vrabel?
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, when he used that whole strategy of delay of games.
I need people in the chat if they know. I heard this today that doesn't matter what happens tomorrow night with the Titans. If they beat the Jags next week, they're in the playoffs, which is why they're being extra cautious for tomorrow night.
Yeah, this is.
So,
yeah,
I think they're home against the Jags next week. So I think it all comes down to they could win tonight, but then lose next week and not make it. They have to beat the Jags.
Glimmerman's talking.
I don't know.
Glimmerman's talking about. Yeah, I thought Turpin was going to break one. Good return, but called back. And yeah, I mean,
I'm not calling it back anymore. I was upset with that. It's just like every time you get a good return, there's a holding.
Mm-hmm.
Time. It's very frustrating. Yeah, Thomas. I'll get a hold of Mark and we'll reach out. He's got your info. I think he wants to do it. He said it sounded like a good idea.
Thank you, Jack.
So
Jack saying, if y'all enjoy the show, please share and subscribe. I appreciate that, man.
Mark, thanks, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm seeing some new names. I love it. I see Jessica Haggerty. I just want to shout out to Jessica.
Jessica,
you were right. You were right about the Cowboys and Eagles game. Mm-hmm. I always kind of am more on the conservative side. Just more of a.
But that's where you got me.
Superstitious thing,
yeah, I don't want to just force you pick
Jessica,
my team.
She was right. She was loud and proud, and she was flexing. And she ended up being right. So, shout out to you, loyal Cowboy. How are you?
Okay, I was reading some of these things. And Mark Hutchins says Dak does not let the clock run down enough before snapping the ball, and that was true. I was pointing out exact time when it was 3-4 minutes to go. They had the drive. I'm like, why are we hiking the ball with 15 seconds left on the play clock, man? Why aren't we running it down to at least under 5 seconds, right. 4, 3, something in between there? Why are we? And that's where I say the exact same thing. Where that was my questionable thing with him, that last little couple of drives where the defense gives you 2 drives to run out 3.5 minutes, man. Dude, come on, that's the little stuff that we talked about the last time with McCarthy, and how there was that one game he kind of just at the end. There was a couple of games at the end where he didn't do great on the clock management. I mean, I'm not going to put it on him. Obviously, goes with the head coach. Kind of like the whole when it wins, it's on the quarterback. When they lose, it's on the quarterback. But
EJB, how you
that
doing,
clock
buddy?
management there
is the show.
It's a little bit it's questionable, man. It's just the defense again had to make another driving play towards the end, and people are calling pass interference on that whole the right in the end zone. That was not pass interference. It's like
what?
They're going to grab onto
Here's
any little part.
This is my opinion on waiting till the last second. So you wanted them to wait till drain the clock down before you snap?
No, I want it within 5 seconds. Whether it's at 5, whether it's at 2, whether it's something where you're not guessing.
It's a matter of if we have a lead and we're trying to drain clock, then fine, drain it down. You run the play, drain it down, run the play. But what I don't like is throughout the game is when we're constantly snapping the ball at the
That's
last
different.
second.
Yeah,
that just gives the defense a time in there. That's just a natural clock.
No, and I think that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the end there, where you don't need to, hike it. You just that's why I say the 5 seconds. Within that 5 seconds, you can hike it or whatever. What's going on? Jeff SoCal. They don't want to give
they don't want to give the defense time to think, which is right.
Yeah.
Rock. What up? Welcome to the show.
But then again, at the same time, then break out of your huddle a little bit later. I don't know. There was just something there that needs to kind of change, because you need to be able to give this defense a rest, man. This defense has showed right now that it needs some time, whether it's healing from injury or within the clock. Yeah, within the game, you need to be able to. Are you on mute? What's going on? You there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I muted myself. Yeah, I coughed, and I don't want to cough on everybody there. So you've been sit there, chatting.
Oh yeah, I get rambly sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You can hear me, but they can't. Yeah.
No, I could. Yeah. For a moment you couldn't. That's why I was like, what? Philadelphia fans are two-faced, saying they didn't have Hurts when week 6. Yeah, and then it goes both ways in that sense, and that's for them to give all that brag. Oh, well, it doesn't matter, and now it does matter. It's you can't have it both ways. I mean, we beat each other in the regular. I think that's what they need. They need to just get past it. It's just like. They're not going to go back. You're not going to put Hurts in there. If I could travel back in time, I would take Hurts with me and shove it in that game. Like, and no, man.
He's a fool.
Yeah, I mean, save him for the playoffs. Right now, there's, I get why, okay, we want to still try to get that first round. We want to seal it up or whatever like that. But, man, that's very questionable, man. You don't just throw it out there because you need a possible win. I'd be different if you need that win to get into the playoffs. But that's not the case right now, and so you need to let those guys rest. The ball control. Yep. Glimmerman says that ball control. He needed to be in Dak's ear to let the clock run out. The sun in Gallup's eyes cost us. Did you look at the PI? Yeah, I mean there was a couple of
did
those
you
things.
Hear Jerry Jones's?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it, but at the same time, you need to own up to it.
Here's the deal. Why can't we do what the Giants used to do back in the day? They would open the door behind the end zone, like towards the end of the game, and it would cause a draft when the other team was trying to kick a late game field goal. They would literally do that. Why can't you, when we have the ball going in that direction into the sun, hurry up and close the curtains just in the end zone? I mean. Or, whatever. Just close the curtains. But, yeah, he's too worried about aesthetics. Don't get me wrong. I put a picture out on Twitter, and it was a beautiful picture of Gallup. It was a beautiful picture. But he was blinded, people. So, is it worth it? I mean, sometimes I wonder. I don't know about you, but that scoreboard is annoying to me anymore. Like when I heard they were doing work on the scoreboard, I'm like, oh, good. Maybe they'll do something that the Rams have, something that's more up in the ceiling, and no, they don't. They're keeping the scoreboard. They're just re-upping everything. That thing is like a monstrosity.
Yeah, but one thing I gotta say about this team that in previous years, I mean, yeah, they do at times play down to the competition. I mean, that's something that we definitely pointed out. There's been some inconsistencies, but at the same time, I don't feel like we're totally out of the game all the time. I feel like this team just kind of puts its head down, continues to work, and the work actually shows. I mean, the talent eventually comes out. They start moving the ball. Kellen even gets on a roll as well too. So I mean, it's hard to criticize 100% when they won this past week and they beat the Eagles. They did stop that offense. Minshew was a better passer. I think we all can agree on that. I think the only people that do not agree on that is all Eagle fans, but. It's whatever your view is. They have the opposite, and that.
Like I told you earlier in the year, the only way we're going to shut everybody up is if we finally win another Super Bowl. What I will tell you is this team has the pieces to do that. I'm sorry, they do, man. We're well positioned. Is it going to be easy? No, but we're not going to shut people up until we do it. Well, Stewart, behind me, I always bring him up, but went to Big D in June and we helped his family out. He passed away a couple days before we could meet him. We still have Stewart on our side. That was his last dying wish, or one of two. We we fulfilled the one wish, and the second wish was for the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl this year. So that's still on the table. I'm not giving up on it. So if we have home field, that's great. If we don't, that's fine too. I ain't as scared. So let's go. But yeah, let's get to some of the chat, man. It's blowing up here.
Yeah, I think Jessica Haggerty is getting on to us a little bit. She says, y'all say, okay, maybe I should say a little bit louder. Y'all say that y'all want them to hurry up, and when they do, y'all move the goalposts and they want them to slow down. I'm talking about the situational football.
Yeah,
I definitely want the 2-minute drill if we need to get down there and score and hurry, because we're trying to catch up.
Dak is better. I don't know what side she's on, but Dak is better when he's up tempo. I'm just saying.
I think she's on the
leave
him
have
alone.
To snap it. Yeah, leave him alone.
Yeah, leave them alone and let them do their thing. That's what Jessica's saying. That's okay.
Yeah,
Jessica,
I know. Well, that's what we do, Jessica. Yeah, that's what we do. Let's see. Glimmerman, we did not play a backup defense. Yeah, I know. I hear you. That was the number one defense, right? And we diced them. Dak sliced and diced them.
And I think that's a lot of times.
Everybody wants to forget about that.
Well, I mean, like you said, Shady and then Joy in that same thing. David has to go in there, every single week and kind of defend the Cowboys when, we all know what, not everything needs to be defended, but when you got guys like talking extreme stuff like that, they need to be defended. Right. It's not as bad as they put it out there to be. But Jeff SoCal says this team is going to fight their ass off in the playoffs, and they're still mad about last year's results. Yeah, man, I would be pissed off too. I mean, it's you got to remember that if you have to go against San Francisco in the playoffs, that's definitely has to stay in your mind about what type of game that it has to be. I think this. When you look at this team, it seems to have that. I mean, there are times where they kind of fall asleep going into a game, but if you've already gotten your butt whipped by an opponent, they tend to come back, and they really tend to. And if you look at any one of those guys in the playoffs, I mean, there's a lot of revenge there. I think that the Dallas could eat off of, in the sense, that Jordan mentality where he makes a problem in his head, and then boom, he would attack you.
This is funny. Mark Hutchins, from what I understand, it takes 30 minutes to close the curtains. Well, then, don't worry about the curtain. I didn't know it took 30 minutes.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm with you, Thomas. The Dak is a beast, with tempo. I was saying I don't want to wait till it gets to 1 second to snap the ball because that helps the defense. That's all I was trying to say. Imagine being an NFL team and an ass QB feeds you a 40 burger. Yeah, right? Dude, I've been blowing up Samuel. I've been blowing up Cut on Dimes 25, Shady McCoy on Twitter. He don't ever respond. He don't do his homework. No, he doesn't watch the games, apparently.
It's the highest.
He likes to hear himself talk.
It's his career high in passing yards. I was like, no, it's nowhere near. I think career passing is 500.
Okay. Saw that.
It's the
that's wrong.
Yeah, he had the career high in rushing, and I think it was against Jacksonville, 2018. I think he had it. So I mean, there was a lot of
I have a stat here.
Quit being lazy. Quit being lazy.
Stat for you. Yeah, I have some stats. 5 games in a row. Now that's obviously with Dak. We have gone over. Okay, under Dak. I mean, the last 5 games, we're going over the over-under number.
Okay. That's what you said.
The point differential in the last 7 games is plus 119. I mean, we're scoring points. We're scoring a lot of points. The Titans in the last 5 games are minus 51 in points. So this game is setting up good for us. I don't know about you people. I'm thinking it's more of a Zeke game. I think Pollard.
I like what Thomas Garrett saying.
Banged
here.
up.
Yeah.
I would say use Pollard and use
Malik Davis.
Malik Davis. Exactly.
Love Malik Davis. Thomas Garrett brings up a great point. He goes, I think we're getting hot at the right time. The win of the past Saturday is going to be our turning point. And it's true. I mean, if you've anybody that's been around football long enough knows that you don't want to be going into the playoffs with 10 win streaks, 10 game winning streak. You want to kind of reset the tables and kind of go. So yeah, I mean, we had a terrible loss the previous week. We came back and beat a division rival. So we're reset, and yeah, to get hot at the right time, especially with the offense, even with the offense turning over, giving them an additional touchdown, they still, put up 40 points with, when we were questioning some stuff. That's why, at the same time, I think that's what happened with the week before. It's just like we know that the defense was vulnerable, and they still were this time. It's just, can the offense do a little bit more? And I think we're right back to the previous year where the offense has to be that team right now in order to make up for the defense. But you're hoping that with all the injuries that will come back, it'll balance out a little bit, and the defense, they'll both be ready to go for the playoffs. See, Randy Wilson says, the bad thing about tomorrow's night is I'm going to be a Longhorns fan, and the bowl game is at the same time. Yeah, you got to make a choice, man. That's definitely got to make a choice. That's why you put it on more than one television. Hold on,
What bowl game's on tomorrow night?
He was saying Texas for some reason. Let's see.
I don't know why it keeps muting me. Sorry about that, people. Like it keeps muting me. So I just unmuted myself again.
And that's the thing is, Loyal Cowboy brings this up, and this is where I was talking about in Mark's channel, where he says, I don't underestimate the Titans. They are fighting for the division, and that's the truth. Even with backups, you got to look at the defense for the Titans. They stop the run. They're really good at stopping the run, and so that's something that the Eagles were able to do as well too against us, and that's where you're hoping Dak can do his thing to add to that running game. But the passing game, I think that's where the passing game is kind of what they fall back on. It's just this defense is not great at stopping the pass. And on the opposite side, I mean, with Malik Willis, I mean, he obviously we know that he's going to be able to run. The running quarterbacks, Justin Fields type of a quarterback, probably not that extent. But right now, their passing game is really suffering. And I do expect Malik Willis to go for over 100 yards in his first game, because I think that's how our defense is. Right now, we're still trying to figure out, work some kinks out. So, yes, they will be able to take some shots, and we all know what side of the field they're going to take the shot at. But at the same time, with the passing not going over 100 yards for the past 3 games, I think there's a chance for interceptions there, especially when you got some of these aggressive corners like we do. What do you see in this matchup going in with their defense? Like our offense going against their defense, and then we'll switch it around.
Yeah, and Link brought up what I said a little while ago, that Dak last game was 24 for 24 against zone coverage. Don't ask me why, because I know Dak normally struggles against that type of defense. Clogging cover, type of defense. But I don't want to see Dak throw more than 30 times.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if that's possible. I want to see him have a 22 for 28 for 265 and 2 touchdowns. Something like that, with no turnovers. I think I would like to see that, because Tennessee's the type of defense where they have some playmakers like Kevin Byard, in the back.
They do.
Safety is really good. They have, you got Terrell Basham. He's going to see some time at end. So,
there's going to be some extra hunger there.
Can't let him. Yeah, there'll be a little extra hunger. They have some good players. They're not going to be able to stop us, but I just don't want to give them anything for free. We know that Malik Willis is struggling mightily, but he's such an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He can.
You got to worry about it. Yep.
He's good for 1 touchdown. He just is. So I think we're going to be fine. I think it's a Zeke type game. Zeke and Malik Davis. If Pollard plays, I don't really think we need to use Pollard. Give him an extra rest.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need him. He's going forward. This is where I want to win tomorrow, but I kind of wish that it was the Eagles that played, and we played Sunday. Only
that way we knew if we were resting and stuff. Yeah,
be that much more easier, know. But now you got to play, man.
Yep,
And
that's true.
I have a weird feeling that the Eagles are going to lose to New Orleans. I'm sorry, but I have that feeling.
I like it. Keep it.
There's a lot of, Lane Johnson is holding off surgery. Lane Johnson.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, that wasn't a great career move, but okay.
Well, he's holding off surgery in hopes to play. Now, he's going to try to play in playoffs.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you now, it probably won't end well for him, and he won't last long.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly
And Avonte Maddox is out. And, C.J. Gardner-Johnson has not been activated for his 21-day window for his lacerated kidney.
That's
not.
thing.
I mean, he'll probably be ready for the playoffs, or he'll give it a go. But
yeah, that's it.
Man,
yeah,
I have a feeling that New Orleans needs this game, and don't be surprised if New Orleans wins the game. My only thing is, the Giants only need one more win. Okay. So if the Giants win against the Colts at home, which I think we all
it's always
expect
possible, yeah.
This week, then they're going to have it wrapped up, and then they're going to go to Philly next week. So what are they going to sit everybody? Are they going to help out, the Cowboys? So they're not going to need anything. So it's almost like we got to root against the Giants this week.
Yep.
So they have to play next.
Give a shit next week, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Hey, well, I mean, hopefully that's the way it falls a little bit for us. Let's say I'm going to get to the chat here. Glimmerman pointed out, isn't the defense second against the run? With Pollard banged up, we need to definitely give Elliott, just feed him some football there. And I'm definitely with that strategy.
I'm saying. It's like a Zeke game for me.
Yeah, we need some bruisers.
It's Zeke-ish. I feel Zeke-ish,
Yeah, and he's all about, let's get Malik some playing time and rest Pollard as soon as possible. But yeah, Michael Dennis also talked about Lane Johnson. He's talking about the rehab for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, I mean, and I'm kind of here with Loyal
There's
Cowboy.
There's no rehab, though, people. He has a torn muscle, abdomen.
This is where I'm with
surgery.
Loyal Cowboy.
It's not going to help it. It's not going to help.
Loyal Cowboy says the Eagles are going to slaughter the Saints. Andy Dalton is starting. And that's the problem that I see. Is that as much as
Red Rifle, baby, the Red Rifle.
You never know when they're going to pull it out. I mean, he can, but at the same time, I haven't seen a lot from the Saints team to But again, you're saying, any given Sunday, and it's kind of setting up to where it's not going to just be a walk in the park.
I'll worry, man. I think if I had to pick the game, I'll pick the Eagles, but I'm just holding out hope, But especially since we play Thursday, and we're going to have a long rest before we play again. So it's like, I kind of hope that we have to play that last. It would be nice if the Eagles lost and we won. How could we sit everybody? You know what I mean? It would make no sense.
Link says, I hope Henry plays because then we need some work with the run D.
Link.
And I'm not for that. I don't need him running all over our guys. And they're still hurting. I mean, they are.
Lane Johnson would have been better off taking care of himself, but most players will do anything to get back on the field.
Yeah.
Michael Dana. I know when he got hurt, and I heard what it was. It's not good. So, and listen, I'm not rooting for injury. This is a part of the game. When we lost to the Eagles early in the year, and I know most of us are Cowboys fans, if not all of us. I don't see many Eagles fans in here. Maybe they're watching. We're not 100. It wasn't just Dak that was out the first time that we played.
Yeah,
we were without a lot of players. Tyron Smith, Michael Gallup, just off the top of the head. So,
Yeah, and then we have some guys that weren't starting that they are now. Damone Clark, he wasn't going. He wasn't within this defense. He didn't have Bland. There's a lot of things that were different. We had to rely on Anthony Brown that, unfortunately, yes, we're kind of missing him a little bit as well because you had that starting corner with some vet experience. So that's the part that you're missing right now, but I love the play that you're getting from Bland. It's just that I don't know if you have that other corner yet. And I like what Mackenzie Alexander was doing when Bland was on the outside, but
Bland is. I think Bland is the outside guy. That's the beautiful thing. He did so well in doing it. Now, I didn't know this. Now, how would we know? He wasn't invited to the combine. He was a 5th round pick Dallas picked him out of nowhere. But that's, I found out that he only played the outside in college. So he's very familiar with the outside. Dallas put him in the slot.
He played.
He's very familiar with the outside. So that's probably why they went out and got McKenzie, knowing they could easily slide him over to the left corner slot. Yeah.
So right now I'm reading the chat. So Mark Hudson says,
feeling on him.
Oh my God, boss man. I want to see Prescott run the ball 5 to 6 times so the defense is off. Yeah, and I agree, man. That's when he's able to do that. They have to, those corners don't back up, and where he was attacking that zone, they were kind of drifting back. But then they had to come up to really, take care of Dak as well too, because there were some times where he kind of gashed for some yards. He was able to do the slide. So I like that he was adding that a little bit. I like that he's getting comfortable within this offense to start doing that. I think that was always a fear I think I had as well too, is that he was just going to just kind of shy away from it, because he understands, just like we all been saying, is that if you're a quarterback that just runs all the time, it's eventually going to catch up to you, even if you're a big guy. I mean, you see some of those big guys like Josh Allen doing all that kind of. Eventually, it just takes one good hit, and it's usually a sideline hit where you're trying to get for that first down, and that linebacker knows you have to get to that first down, and then there's a collision on the sideline. I think we've all seen quite a bit of stuff. Robert Griffin kind of go out like that. So I do, but I like that he's picking the right times to do it. Yeah. And Glimmerman says O-line was a mess in first Eagles game. Yeah, that's true.
And I don't like getting into like tit for tat, but I don't know about you people, but it feels like we're constantly in defense mode anymore. Being a Cowboys fan, we're always on the defensive because people are always trying to downplay what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget our record, people. We have 11 wins already. It's just very frustrating being a Cowboys fan. Very frustrating. I'm tired of. That's why I just want to win it all, and that'll give us all a nice big smile and be able to take a deep breath, and nobody's going to talk shit, at least for a few months.
Yeah, I agree, Glimmerman. And that's the thing, is that's where we were like, we want him to get his confidence back. Glimmerman says, snap your ankle like that, and I would throw from the pocket a lot more too. I look at some images to try to get these graphics on here, and man, that always seems to pop up, and that foot is hanging the other way. I'm like, ugh. You got to give him a lot of credit. I mean, it took a little,
but
it took some time to get comfortable.
I think to be successful, people. Dak needs to do what he did last week. When everything breaks down, he needs to run. He had like 40 yards, but there were 40 key yards. You got a first down once. I mean, that's what you need.
Yep, definitely agree. Definitely. Blue Virus says it's going to be a 12 wins. 12 wins this week, boys and girls. And it's definitely
Mark Holmes is in the house. What's up, buddy?
It's definitely shaping up to be that way. Whether the favorite or whatever. But I'm interested to see what the strategy is for all the possible injuries. Obviously, a guy like Parsons does not want to sit. I think we're back in that same category possibly with Zeke last year, where Zeke just didn't want to come off the field. And you need to be the person that says, okay, look, man, we need you for the playoffs, man. We need you. This isn't the week to – I mean, maybe he's thinking that this is the week that he can really feast and catch up on those sack totals that he hadn't had in those past couple of games. But at the same time, he's thinking of the stats.
Yeah. I'm done with that, too. Predicting sacks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done with the Turpin touchdown, and I'm done with the multiple sack game. Mark Holmes, Thomas Garrett is in here. I told him, I don't know. You could do what you want, but we had talked about possibly getting him on live from the stadium tomorrow. So,
who, Mark?
Maybe we could.
Who?
Well,
okay. Whoa.
No, I'm talking to Mark through our channel here. Thomas, I think it'd be cool because Thomas is going to the game, Tennessee tomorrow. So on Mark's channel, he should give him a call and they could just broadcast, get a little feel of the outside stadium. I want to hear Thomas stir up some shit in Tennessee.
That doesn't sound like Thomas at all.
Yeah, not at all. Um, yeah, I would like to see more of a conservative game plan. Use the tight ends, run Zeke and Malik Davis, play action. I think if we play a sound game without any turnovers, Tennessee can't beat us with Malik Willis. That's what I would like.
Nashville, Tennessee. Boom.
You know, yeah. So, um,
Sorry.
yeah, I'm waiting to hear what the big sub is. You know, Mark's never discussed what he's making.
Oh yeah,
I gave him some advice, but you know,
he probably has
I
many
told
choices.
him to go with a Nashville hot sandwich, along like he maybe do a bunch of homemade chicken breasts and bread them up. You know, do the Nashville hot. You know, maybe do a little bit of lettuce, tomato, a little either garlic and blue cheese aioli, a little bit of pickled onions.
Forget about
Come
it.
on, Mark, that's it. Forget about it. Jeff Lee, what's up, guys? How you doing today?
Welcome,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
Bubba
loyal
Gump.
Cowboy beat me to it.
Bubba Gump shrimp.
That is awesome.
I know everything is to know about shrimp business.
Fried
shrimp salad, shrimp Creole.
But yeah, I mean, game tomorrow, I think it's a lot. I think these next two games, it's going to be, even with this one, what happens during the weekend will determine on what happens on in Washington's game. Or are they playing for their playoff lives? We're not playing as much. Are we letting them sneak in? Are we going to play them hard to let Green Bay get in? There's so many things up in the air that I think the Cowboys need to just worry about what's in front of them, beat the teams in front of them, and let's just continue moving forward with our blinders on, and just, you have to beat the teams that are in front of you, and this is the time to either rest, win that division, or just get ourselves ready. I mean, mentally, I think there's a lot to this team that is piecing together. I'm not as concerned as I was last year. Obviously, last year we had a lot of problems, whether it was the O-line, the flags, the wide receivers can't get open, the defense is just allowing stuff, and there was so many things. Kellen Moore's still a kind of a little factor, and these things will always be a factor, but they're not like there was last year. I feel a lot more confident in this team. You obviously got more pieces, young pieces, and then some pieces that kind of just, whether it's like a Jason Peters that comes in for a formation on the goal line as a tight end to help Zeke get into the end zone. Hey, man, that's a great addition. And so I'm liking where these guys are set up. I'm liking how we're...
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody cares, but I have the officials for tomorrow night. I got the information on the officials. So I'm going to rattle off some of the... we got 35 people in here. I don't want to just rush off here. The officials. It's our buddy. He hasn't done a game yet this year with us, but Sean Hockley is going to be the official. It's going to be his crew. Everybody remembers his dad with the big guns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, Ed Hockley. Well, this is his son. Let me give you some stats with this crew. His crew, they're 35, 26, and 2 under. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every week there's an over-under. Let's say, like, tomorrow our over-unders, like it was 40.
10, 11.
They're 35 and 26. So it's normally a lower scoring game with this guy. All right. He loves to be the center of attention, just like his dad. Now, he don't have the guns like his dad, but he's got that smug look like his dad. So, it's his crew that called 28 penalties in the Thanksgiving game, the Raider game. 28 penalties, people. 28 penalties. You're
going to see a lot of slow down football.
Well, I don't want to see that. That's why I was telling you, after finding out who's the refs, let's just run the ball, set up play action. Let's get a lead, shorten the game, get out of there with a W. I'm a little concerned about that.
Well, a lot of times with those kind of passing,
I have their top 5.
The passing is where they like as you're jumping into this, like that's when you'll see teams take shots down the field because one, either they're going to get the big reception on the secondary that's still trying to figure out their way, or they're going to get pass interference from attention wanting referee crew. So,
right.
Go ahead.
Well,
continue. Sorry.
their number one call that they like to call, like Sean Hockley's crew, their number one offense that they call is offensive holding. So we got that going for us. Number 2 is defensive pass interference. Like
So
I
maybe
said, they like to be the center of attention.
So maybe we should put Micah in there just so he can finally get his holding calls.
Yeah. Number 3 would be defensive holding. They like to do like the big game changing calls. You know, they like to take scoring off the board, which is why they have a lot of unders. You know, it's like a lot of field goals. You know what I mean? So, like that's what we're dealing with, unfortunately.
Yeah. Cameraman points it right out.
You know,
great! How many holding calls on the run play?
I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, I really can. You know, they called 12 unnecessary roughness penalties already this year. That's a lot for a crew. I mean, I have all the stats. I wrote it down today when I had time. The bottom line is, let's just keep it simple. You know, keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it simple. Let's not get too carried away. Hopefully, Tennessee doesn't do it. I think Thomas, you're in for a good game, buddy. Dallas, you're going to see them fire uniforms, and I think you're going to see Zeke have a good game. I don't think they have anything for CeeDee Lamb. He's on a tear.
And that's the part that I got to go with. I know this defense for Tennessee definitely has a second-ranked defense when it comes to the run, and that's what they're going to be good at in general because obviously they have a linebacker as a coach. So, I mean, you would imagine their defense is going to be a little bit more stacked. It's just, okay, they're talking about this whole we're going to rest people. Well, is there going to be a lot of people in the defense? Is the defense not going to look the same? The defense is already kind of questionable in the secondary.
Listen, as long as Derrick Henry's not playing, I'm good.
Yeah.
And Mike Aldana, Kellen Moore will get cute. That's why I started out by saying, let's not get cute. Let's not do the BS we tried to do last week. There's no need. Yeah. We're better than this team.
Yes,
let's not give any pick sixes. Let's not give it. Hold on to the ball. You know, it's not going to be really cold. I think it's going to be 48 degrees at game time, Thomas. Now, I was told that the air coming off, I guess there's the river right there, that it gets pretty cold, but they're saying it's going to be 48 at game time. That's not horrible. Not bad. So that's great football weather. So let's just I don't mind that, Glimmer Man. Let's throw some screenplays. Maybe do that early in the game because you know they're going to be selling out against the run. You know,
Michael Dana, Kellen Moore will get cute. Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will. You know he will.
Definitely, I would love to do 12 personnel. They don't like it. Kellen Moore don't like it.
No.
Like I was telling Phil the other night, you know,
he can't
whip out. I saw a funny thing on Twitter where they had, Denver. They had Kellen Moore like in a Denver outfit and like a hat, and it said like the new Denver coach. Good, go Kellen, go. I'll bring in John Kitna back. That was when Dak was rolling.
So Mark Hutchins says that he thinks Cowboys 36, Titans 17. We're getting to the score. I like it. Glimmerman, no trick plays, double reverse plays. And if I guarantee all season, Kellen Moore has been trying to figure out to get a trick play out of a 12 personnel. He's like, I can't do it. You know, it's like, so that's the reason why he probably doesn't like it. But by the playoffs, you should see one crazy, trick play out of the 12 personnel that you're like, what is going on with this guy? But yeah, I think so too, man. Mike McCarthy needs to give Kellen Moore a short leash, and I think that's. Are you seeing some of that? I think can I call it now, Coach? Can I call it now? And he's just like, all right, go ahead and call it, and then they lose 10 yards. He's like, all right, you're done for the rest of the game. So it's
that's not bad, Tom.
Thomas, what's going on?
Frank Reich is OC and Dan Quinn. Yeah, you know what? And that's another thing. A loyal Cowboy. Everybody's assuming that Dan Quinn's going to want to go to Denver now. I think that job has gotten a lot less attractive.
Yeah. And last year, I think it was. Last year, I thought it was an amazing job to want to go to.
Well, no. He wanted it.
Yeah, he did.
But if you're looking at it now,
the draft picks,
I can't imagine you wanting it.
No.
You would be stuck with the dude with
they need an offensive guy.
In the house.
They need an offensive coordinator kind of going into it. I'm not telling Kellen Moore's that guy. I'm not saying that at all. But they need somebody that's going to get.
But
this
it's not going to
going.
be Sean Payton. I heard the rumor on Sean Payton. It's not going to be Sean Payton. His wife wants to be in a warm weather place. But everything's drying up for Sean Payton right now. You know what's going to happen to Sean Payton?
What's that?
He's going back to New Orleans with Tom Brady. I'm telling you now, he will be.
You don't think Tom Brady's going to go to San Francisco? He'll go to San Francisco?
No.
I think Tom will go to San Francisco.
That was the whole deal. He wanted to go to Miami.
I know. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. But Mike McDaniels is doing such a great job down there. You know, now you got Tua that's kind of questionable going forward. It's just there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. But I think that defense is very stacked.
I think Dan Quinn stays with us. I really do.
Yeah, so
I could be a fool in thinking that, but I think he does.
I think so as well, too. Blue Rabbit says Dan Quinn's going to stay with us for a couple of years. I don't know what everyone's talking about. It's just that Dan Quinn's one of those guys that everybody automatically jumps on every single year for it. It's just the same thing as, 11, 12 winning season. Everybody starts talking about, Sean Payton for the Cowboys head coaching position. It's just, these are all things that constantly get rotated in their circle of what are we going to talk about with the Cowboys in the offseason so we get viewers, and then we'll switch the narrative to, how disgusting. Because during the season, you notice it's the bashing. And the reason why is because I don't know about you, and if you're a Cowboy fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have 31 other teams that bash on you, okay? So when other teams talk to me and they go, you just can't handle the trash talking. I was like, dude, you get trash talking from 3 teams in your division. I get trash talking from 31 other teams in the NFL. So trust me, your trash talking is nothing I have not heard. The whole, it has been so many years, of VHS tapes and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's the same repetitive. It's a Google list that every single one of them jumped down. How to go against a Cowboy fan, and it's probably just some. I won't get into that whole thing because I could go on and on. But we're used to it. We're very used to every team wanting to play hard against us. This team has definitely talked sometimes where we're saying maybe giving somebody a compliment like Parson was giving to Hurts. Hey, he's a good. Maybe he's benefiting off of the system that he has and da 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 da. Oh no, you can't do that because all of a sudden now you're crap talking. It's just. The different narrative, and I think you're getting into that as well when you see, again, stuff on the field, whether it's the flags we were seeing last year. This crew coming in, they love the flags. So I think jumping onto a different weird category there, but I think there should be some kind of evaluation in the sense of who do these refs root for? Who are their teams? It's got to be in a factor in some way.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me that, every single one of them is just neutral. It's not that way at all, man. So let's go back to the chat. So I'm sorry I get my little thing. Do you want to be coaching Russell Wilson at this point in his career? You would think that Russell Wilson would pop out of that whole, and that's why I look at the coach being fired. That was
he
weird.
was on the decline in Seattle.
It was.
Everybody forgets that he was on the decline in Seattle. So, he's cooked. I'm sorry to tell you, he's cooked. What made Russell good was his elusiveness, sliding out of the pocket, and creating plays down the field. He's not doing that at all.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd want to be stuck there. You got no draft picks. You got a good defense, so it's not a total rebuild. But obviously, there's something going on if they're as bad as they are record-wise.
That's just crazy. It is very crazy that it is. Glimmerman says, don't they own Sean Payton's contract next year? I think they had a contract up until this year for the year.
He's under contract He's under contract for New Orleans. That contract basically is in a holding pattern. That's why if he were to go to anywhere else, you'd have to give draft compensation.
Hey, move your microphone.
I'm not giving.
Move your microphone a little bit. Yeah, you're getting kind of like, and then you would come back. Okay, so good.
Check.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Wilson is finished. He can't run anymore.
And I would have thought that was going to be a stacked team. That okay, now that division. I mean, going into the season, I was talking. Denver's going to be something. The Raiders are going to be something. That that has not been the case at all with these teams. And so you got Glimmerman saying. No, I was gonna say Glimmerman says if you get to know the D, if Quinn knows if he gets a D tackle and another linebacker that he can make and get the run covered, that can at least bring the heat every play.
Love weed.
And that's where you're seeing it. And I think somebody else was talking about that earlier, where you're maybe with even Glimmerman where they've been slowing down that pass rush, and so you're not seeing them get to the quarterback as much because they're trying to also stay committed to trying to stop the run. I think that's where we were getting gashed, the stunts and everything that were. And you saw, and I think Bryan brought it up as well, too, that, when you were seeing the stunts, they were not even getting halfway through the stunt by the time they were passing the ball. So, all that extra movement, it sets up for the great pass rush. But, when you have certain quarterbacks like a Tom Brady that love to get it out, like, really quickly, that's what you're going to get, unfortunately. And so I think you're right. Quinn did make some adjustments. And if you get a deep tackle that can hold up some blocks to get your linebackers free, you're right, man. They can definitely do some crazy stuff. And the cover linebacker is just what's going on with Jabril Cox. That's going to be always the question for me.
Well, obviously, they don't have him up near the top, even with Leighton out. So that's discouraging. But I think we're going to be fine for now.
Frederick Johnson says, living in Colorado, talk is they want interested in a coach with head coaching experience. Sorry, Kellen. Yeah, I think I don't blame him, man. I wouldn't want Kellen in general. It's like he's kind of one of those guys that you keep seeing stumble forward. And, I mean, he's doing great. I'm not going to tell you that he's not the worst offensive coordinator in the league. But at the same time, ugh.
You know who the number one team is in the league on third down?
The Cowboys.
That would be the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is first in the league in third down conversion at 56%. So that's Kellen Moore. I get annoyed with Kellen. I wish he would do more 12 personnel. Use more tight end looks. I think he gets pass happy and gimmicky happy. But we can't argue with the points per game and stuff like that. We can't argue. We don't necessarily love everything about it, but I think we're being a little bit picky. I think a lot of teams would love to be where we're at, so let's keep that in mind. That being said, he annoys me.
He does, even when you look at him on the sideline, I'm like, God, I want to just punch him in the face. And he's like, is there anything I can do? No, you just have a face that people want to punch.
He draws up a play.
Yeah, he's like,
that was good.
You can see him with his tongue out. So
I got some more numbers for you, people. Still rolling pretty good in the chat here. I got scoring. This matchup. So this is what to expect tomorrow night, people. Dallas is averaging 28.1 points per game scored. They're averaging 28 points a game. Nice. I don't know where that ranks. I didn't look it up to where it ranks.
But that's also with
the
Cooper
Titans
Rush
are averaging. Yeah, that's the whole year. The Titans are averaging 18.2. So that's almost a 10-point difference.
And that was with Tannehill too.
Yeah. Now, as far as giving up, the Cowboys are averaging 19.2 points against. Okay, so if you figure if the Titans score 18.2, we average 19.2. That gives you an idea. Unless there's some ridiculousness, they ain't scoring 20 points tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay. The Titans average giving up 20.9, so just about 21 points a game. We are a high-octane offense. We score a lot. Expect us to be over that number.
Oh, my God. Sorry, I
was
reading. No, I was first reading the Glow Cowboy because I think everyone hopes. Yeah, because I think everyone hopes that Jabril Cox is good, but in reality he's green. But then someone needs to give Kellen a wedgie on those dumbass play calls. Oh man, that is hilarious. That is the truth, man. Like every time, all right, you get to call it, but if it goes for a negative play, I get to give you an atomic wedgie. I like that.
He's like,
yeah, you're like, never mind, I won't do it. I'll wait. Yeah, you better. That's what I thought.
Right. But my question is, who would be the one giving him the wedgie? I'm just probably thinking it's probably Micah Parsons, right? Just getting pissed that he's calling stupid shit, and he walks over to him.
Give us a roar at the same time.
Oh God, that's funny.
That was hilarious. I like that.
Oh wait, like Jeff Lee wants to start a channel.
I saw
he
that,
said
man.
he's going to help him.
He's like,
I
was like,
man.
congratulations, man. It's always, it can be a little challenging.
Well, me and Phil were talking about it. I don't know what kind of channel you want to start, Jeff. You want to start a sports channel? We're going to need, like, especially during the draft show, I want to identify some well-minded people. We're going to need some people. You know, we're going to do a draft weekend. We're going to cover the draft as well. You know, we did it last year with Mark, but we're going to step it up a couple notches. You know, it should be fun. So stay tuned for that.
Start doing my studying soon as well too. There was a guy that we were talking about. I watched stuff.
What's a swirly?
Swirly is when you stick your head in the toilet and you turn on the toilet and your hair goes in a swirl.
Oh, that's a swirly.
That's a swirly.
Okay, that must be a frat thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. It definitely was a bully thing. I don't think many people were initiating like that.
37-13.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Oh, so he gets the score in there. Nice. I like that score. That's a good score there. Ooh, that's really nice. I like that. Have a great night, Jack, man. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, Blue Virus. I definitely want to get you involved in this. I would say after the season, we start doing our shows. It's never. I mean, there's never a downtime in the NFL, but we're gonna gear up. I want to start bringing some people in that want to do like serious but funny content regarding the draft. You know, we want to have
Loyal Cowboy. If I can suggest anything,
for hours and hours and hours.
If I can suggest anything, definitely what I would do, because he's saying I'm getting close to having all the technology to do a live stream. Need to get a better computer, better with computers. I think what really helped me going into the live whole thing, because I had to hold it. Get used to a whole
40
new
people
system.
in the chat. Nice.
Oh wow. I just went to YouTube and just get different creators and what they were doing on theirs, and this is how you do this is how you do that, and just trial and error, man. But as you see here, it's just I didn't start like this season.
Yeah.
Even if you look at the thumbnails, man, it's hilarious. Like I look back and I'm just like, wow. Audio problems
listen,
like crazy.
It's funny because I take pride in knowing. I don't like just talking to talk. I like to take pride in knowing what I'm talking about. I've been around football my whole life, so I know the game of football. But I don't have Phil's. I'm decent with computers. I'm not, but as far as the software and all that, that's where Phil, as you can see, this is all him. People say, "Oh, well, graphics don't make a channel." Definitely enhances the channel, and I think it makes it awesome. So
I appreciate that, man.
I do. I
take pride in it. Yeah.
You need to have both, though. You can't just have graphics and have people on just talking nonsense. You got to be honest, and you got to speak your mind, but you have to bring some knowledge out. I think everybody knows the game, but some people know a little more than others.
That's actually Loyal Cowboy. That's what I use. I use OBS. I was trying another operating system in the beginning, but OBS is where I definitely jumped through everything into. And it's once you get used to the system, it's a very easy system to use. There's a lot of people that I think the more farther advanced people, they look at this system and go, "Oh, that's just a play toy." But if you can use it correctly, you can make this play toy do a lot of different things. So as you can see, if you definitely email me, send me a message on Twitter, and I'll give you any advice that I can. There was a lot of guys when I was first starting on. Joe from the Cowboys blog, he gave me some advice. Mark was giving me some really good advice before I ever went on Mark's channel. I just asked him if he could give me some advice, and he just real quickly gave me something, and it was nice, when you got these guys that come back and able to give you, hey, just keep your head down and keep going. I think the biggest thing that I saw when you're making your new channel, I'm sorry to get onto this whole subject, is the fact that you're gonna feel like your work can always be better. Don't worry too much about that. It's all about getting the content out there and not, just start working, just start doing it. I think that's the biggest thing. Just do it. You're always gonna have this thing where I want the graphics to be better, or I want this to be. just do it. Just throw it out there. Start to get something going, and you'll learn what not to do as you go along.
Well, you've been wanting to go live for a while. It didn't.
I just didn't have. I didn't
mean,
have that feel.
It took me to tell you, let's go live, and you're like, all right, at least I have.
Well, and even that, you could see the resistance there. I was like, it was fearful.
Yeah.
I was fearful of it. I can admit that because I was used to the editing and putting funny stuff in there, and this is a whole new element. But I'm happy that sometimes that's what you need. You need that partner to give you that push, and Bryan definitely is that. Yeah. When we have the loss, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I know. Don't listen, people. I mean, we're all fans first, right? I mean, now I will shout out to Mark. Mark's he's the type of guy where it's like, I lost, so I'm going to get all the haters in my chat, saying,
No, I love the haters. It's okay. It's okay. You're going to get haters. I like it. I bring it.
There yet, but that's why he's.
He gets a lot of it. I mean, you got to imagine those 50,000. About half of them are probably haters. Like that's good for him, man. If you can get somebody that does not like your team to do it, I mean, that means
Brooklyn
you're doing something.
Joe, shout out to you, man. Did you hear that, man? I know that's.
Where do you live, Jeff?
Phil a rise.
What's that? Oh, Skywalker Steel's supposed to be the
Steel supposed to be a graphics guru. Primetime blows him away.
Dude,
wow.
I love Skywalker Steel. I love Skywalker Steel, man. I tell because I always joke with Skywalker where I was watching him all the time where he was like, "Give me that like," and I was like, "The last time I liked a Skywalker too early, he turned to the dark side." So I'm not sure about this, but. Dude, I love his graphics. So yes, I appreciate that a lot. You're gonna make Skywalker slap me, back. But his knowledge is terrible. But definitely somebody I look up to as well, too, man. I always love his graphics and what he puts together.
All right, we got to get to our scores.
Sorry, man. But yeah, a lot of people are definitely interested as well too, and I love that. I mean, it's definitely something.
To crash off here. We're down to 20.
Yeah, we're not talking about football anymore. They're just talking about OBS and all that stuff. So I apologize, Cowboy Nation. Just jump forward. I'll try to get some little things in there to help us. But give us your scores. There were a lot of scores that were already coming in early, and of course, let's see. I'm gonna scroll up here.
Yeah, well, just real quick, the line started at it.
What, one?
-9 for Dallas.
I thought it was 4. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the Eagles game.
No. It's Dallas -9 open. Now it's Dallas -12.
Okay.
Dallas -12.
And that's where you see what loyal Cowboys are.
Started at 44, and now it's at 40.
Just go up to the bigger graphics so we can see the numbers bigger.
I'm very close to that. I'm very close to loyal Cowboys.
Yeah, it's 24-14. That's not a bad score. I am, ready. I know you haven't heard me rant enough to this episode, so I apologize. What is our team going forward? Who's going to play? Who's not going to play? At what point will Dak be pulled because we're whooping that ass? And now Cooper Rush is going to get in there. How much are we going to play Tony Pollard? Because Tony Pollard can run around a defense, and our secondary needs a little bit of work, and this ain't the quarterback to test that secondary too much, but you're going to see a test here and there, especially if what Bryan is saying about the flags. So I still think we put up 30, and I think it's because we definitely get it going early, and we're able to get the backups in there. So I'm at a 34-10. I think they'll get a touchdown, obviously with the running game going. Maybe even be Malik Willis that does the touchdown as well too, but. I definitely see him going over the 100 yards, but I see it a 34-10 victory for the Dallas Cowboys with some backup play. And so we go in here. I Love Weed says 30-17. Blue Virus says 35-23. You're going to give him some points. Yeah, it's understandable. Brooklyn Joe says 35-13. So he's right there. He wants to change his a little bit. He's kind of like the Price is Right, where he bets like the dollar under or the dollar over. I was at 400. He's like 401. I see how it is. Jeff Lee says 40-17. Pat Thompson says 33-14. So we're right there. We think that Dallas could definitely put the 30 up there.
Limmerman 38-17. We could hang around 40 on them. It's equal eat if no TP. Yeah. I probably should have went higher with my score. Actually, I did start another one. But
is the mail going to be delivered twice? Oh.
Well, I was going to change my pick right before we went on. I stuck with my original. you know how I feel. I think the Titans always, or the team that we play, always is going to get one. They're just going to go right down the field, or there's going to be one big play. So I'm giving them a touchdown and a couple field goals. Like I said, the line really blew up, man. I don't really.
Yeah, Gina says 40-17.
It's that much. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Dallas 27 and the Titans 13.
Okay, so right there,
Like
man,
a
we are
little
all
less of
feeling
a
that
game.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like my original was like 40-10.
But yeah,
There's a chance we can do a 40 burger, but then I said we're on the
Backups.
road. It might be a shorter game, maybe 30-10. But I'm gonna stick with this. I'm not gonna add to it. So I'll go with Cowboys 27, Titans 13. That would be you take Cowboys minus 12, which that's a tough number to lay, but and it's basically a push on the 40. Now that line keeps going back and forth. It started at 44. I see some 39 and a halves, but I got it settling in right around 40. Now I don't think the game will be that close. I think it'll be like
I like that.
27 to.
I like Mike Aldana. Mike
or
Aldana
like
says no score,
like
just wanted Dallas win.
Yeah,
So,
like
yeah, I can
a
say that.
27-6 or something. I see like a 27-6 with a late touchdown.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
I think, as
Dono
long as we don't
says.
do anything stupid, people.
Yeah. What? Kellen Moore on the
Hey,
on
Gina
the
Thorne,
coaching
how are
staff
you?
and nothing stupid. I don't know if those go together. Dano says that he thinks it's going to be
Back
closer,
up
right?
to
He thinks
30.
Dallas will not cover the spread, but maybe because he thinks that we're going to go ahead and start putting the backups in early, and then they get late scores to kind of push it. So I mean, yeah,
I don't think we need to do that.
24-14.
I don't think that's not a bad. Yeah, like I said, I have it 27-13. I have it like 27-6.
Yeah, Mark
with
Hutchins
them
says
getting a touchdown late or
36-17.
something.
These are good scores. I like these. I hope that we're very, we're all
I
feeling
think
that
we're
same
all
thing.
on the same page, which scares me. It scares me because I don't see it an issue tomorrow. But as long as Dak is not dropping back and throwing 40 times, I think we're going to be fine. They're decent against the run, so we may have. I wouldn't mind starting off the game where we got to throw little short passes, some screen passes, some slants to loosen things up.
Mm-hmm.
Use the tight ends. That's what I want to see. What's up, Gina? How are you?
Gina,
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I think this is, it would be a whole different conversation if we were talking about Tennessee, not resting as many people. I mean, again, it could be all talk as well too. So, but their situation, they have to play next week for more of the division whole thing. So that's where
They've lost 5 or 6 in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, and
whatever they're doing's not working. And it's
Tannehill's
still
been
on the
out.
point where if they win one more,
yeah, I mean,
I think it's not one more. They have to beat Jackson.
They just basically have to beat Jacksonville.
I think that's how.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason
weird
why.
How that sets up.
It is weird. Like weird. Yeah, I don't even know what to say other than it is extremely weird. But that's playoff football, man. If this team loses and this team, and if it's so many degrees and they kick the field goal and it goes left and not right, this team will make it.
I'm feeling good.
But I do. I feel good
I'm
about
feeling
going into
good about it. I really do. I mean, because we got reinforcements coming for the playoffs, in the right areas with Hankins and Van Der Esch. Let's just hope we get out of this game tomorrow injury-free like we did last week. And that last game may or may not mean much.
Yeah.
I'm good either way. I'm so far removed from getting the 1 seed. Now Minnesota's involved. I think Minnesota will lose.
Yeah, I can see that too.
One of the two. They have 2 road games. I think they lose this week in Green Bay, to be honest with you. I think Green Bay slides in. But
yeah.
So could you imagine?
Ugh.
But that's fine. I'd rather have them in than Washington. I think they have a
true.
better chance to go in and beat somebody because that's what we need. We would need somebody below us in 6 or
That
7
could beat
hole.
one of those higher.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we need.
Michael
Dallas
Dana
wins the
definitely
game, and everything else will take care of themselves.
Exactly. And that's the truth, man. Just
Michael
put those
Dana.
blinders on and just just go forward. I mean, just know what you need to take care of. Whether next week means something, you won't know anything until after this game. So, and then before the next game, you have a nice, 10 days or whatever that before that next game. And I think that was
that's what's nice.
That's still up for air.
Wouldn't it be nice, people, if we go get the job done tomorrow night and then we kick back and watch the games on Sunday?
Put more pressure on the Eagles.
That's exciting because we already got our win it. We already got our win it
in the pocket.
In our pocket.
Yes.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
So I get to that point where we are getting, we definitely go out, and I apologize to the viewers that I got on a different subject about the YouTube channels and everything. But this part that gets me excited as well too, because there's a lot of guys on there. I watch,
we're back,
Wild Nation.
Man. We're back
I watch
to 30 people in here. That's good.
Yeah, that's because we started talking about football again. So again, I apologize, guys.
Oh, never.
Yeah. So
just real quick, what's up with the college football playoff? I'm so out of the loop,
dude. I am too. I've been watching.
Teams? Is it Michigan, Georgia?
Maybe the chat can tell us, because I have been out of that as well too. That's why when they were talking about the games,
I think it's Michigan.
It's New Year's. Georgia. This is where the ball games start happening. I forgot all about this. So maybe
later than normal though.
No, is it? I mean,
it's not. But when I was a kid, it seemed like they were around Christmas and New Year. Well, I guess that's
right there. That's what I'm saying. Right now, we're in this little phase where we don't even know what day of the week it is, and unless you work all the time, then of course you know exactly what day of the week. Which I was going to point out over here, and Pat Thompson says I got Ty getting a touchdown. Hey, thinks he's gonna after a play like that, get more involved. I could definitely see that as well too, because you have
Ohio State,
CeeDee Lamb definitely stepping up, becoming that number one receiver. So definitely liking that. This is I Love Weed says Ohio State's gonna win it all. So that's it.
Well, I guess it's Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and who's the fourth team? Help me out, people. Not Alabama, I don't think, is it? Let me see. Let me look at my phone. I'll figure it out. Let's see. Just curious, because I like watching the bowls.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch them as well too. I mean, football's football. I mean, sometimes, occasionally, I'll see those high school games on TV. I'm like, okay, something. You got the XFL happening right after the NFL. I think that one isn't that in February sometime. TCU.
Yeah, right.
Loyal Cowboys says TCU.
TCU's in it? Okay. The Horned Frogs. Cool.
Yeah, so
anybody think they have a shot?
I think so. There's always that chance, right? When you have a team, for example, like Appalachian State, that can knock off big competition. I mean, you always have it always can happen as well too. And that's where I've been as well, Michael Down. He goes, I've been out of the CFB realm at the moment. And that's true, man. You get so caught up in what's going on here that you forget, unless you're right there in a college town. I think living in a college town allows you to be more involved into the community and everything like that. So I'm ready to see some football, man. Getting closer to the end of the season. Hopefully we'll have some. I reached out to see if we can get possible Kyle Yeoman I know he's going to be doing some new championship stuff for Texas. So we'll see if we can. If not, off-season thing or into next year. So, but hey, man, the playoffs are coming up. There is
maybe
not
a draft
too far away.
Thing, Yeah.
Well, I mean, when we were talking about that, when we talk about the Cowboys, there was one guy I pointed out that I just did not like when it comes to the draft, but he is one of the most knowledgeable guys out there.
Dane Brugler.
I don't know. It's just me. I know it's me. I just don't like the dude.
A lot of these guys.
But he's awesome. He's so
knowledgeable. A lot of these guys are
knowledgeable.
locked into their situation. I'd really like to get Brian Broaddus on. I don't know. I still may be able to, but a lot of them are locked into their...
they got their things.
Well, I just want to get them
contracts.
on. I'm not going to go live with him during the draft, but maybe he could give us 15 minutes, just talk about what Dallas might want to do. But we got plenty of time for that, people. We will be on
Thomas says that
Friday?
the USFL
Going on Friday?
Going on Friday, talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully victory, man. Hopefully as we take care of business, and that's what we need to do each week, take care of business. I think that's what Jessica Haggerty was talking about, is just that leave them alone, let them do their thing, and they're pulling out these victories, man. So it's hard to be 100% judgmental when they are taking care of business. It's just, again, we freak out when they play down to the competition. And yeah, yes, loyal Cowboy. I like Jane Slater.
Too.
Yes, yeah, yeah, I bet. She's got her. She's definitely knowledgeable. She's definitely got her her knowledge there. So Thomas,
for her sports knowledge, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Thomas says USFL is in April. XFL. That's what I was talking about. Even the XFL, coming in February. So it's like boom, boom, boom. You got some football there. I wanted to get into the USFL last year, but I didn't.
Yeah, I know we're trying to end, but
yeah.
Like Thomas reminds me, I was watching some of the highlights of Devontae Turpin.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the main problems I have, Kellen Moore. Why isn't he being used like he was used there? I get it. We're bigger and we're faster.
I think people
wasn't
forget
that far off.
I think that people forget
used him like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, well, he played a whole season and then turned around and played this season. So it's a back-to-back season, So David Hellman, yeah, you got to give Dave Hellman his credit, man. He holds down the fort and very knowledgeable. I was so happy when he got that job, man. It's seeing these guys that you watch and you seeing them getting their opportunity. Kavanaugh, all those guys, yeah, man, they good on them.
Kavanaugh's locked in. He can't come on. I already talked to him.
Yeah, but still, he's got
Nothing
his mind
against
very
us,
good.
But,
no. Yeah. I don't take any offense to it. If anybody can help out, they always talk about Cowboys football. Cowboy fans, it doesn't matter if we find each other in the middle of, some restaurant somewhere. You're going to have your Cowboy fans that'll root, say, go Cowboys. And, of course, you'll always have the 31 other teams as well. So anything you want to say to the group before we cut out? And we're back on Wednesday, so it's not too far away. No, Friday. Sorry, Friday.
This is Wednesday. Yeah. Just let's all enjoy the game tomorrow. I don't know what's going on, if we're going to be on with Mark tomorrow. And normally he does have us on, but I like watching the game also. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to watch a Dallas game and not have to be. I'm not into that yet.
Yeah, that's why I'm
commenting, but I think it's the game though that we could probably pull that off because I don't think it's going to be that much of a stressful game. Knock on wood, but yeah, we'll be on Friday and
awesome.
Might see us before then on Mark's channel, but
that would be awesome. Mark Hutchins
Friday
says,
night,
get Prescott's uncle.
And enjoy the game tomorrow. Enjoy the game.
Tom Downey when he's not drunk. Yeah, you saw that draft he was getting drinking. That was awesome. Yeah, Downey.
Well, see how he does it is if they do a certain super chat.
Yeah, he has to take the shot, right?
Shot.
So yeah.
Hey, stay tuned. We're only like 600. Like, we're only a little over 600 subscribers away. That's what me and Phil are going to do. We're going to do, every time we get a certain size super chat, we're going to do a shot.
Oh
I'm going to have a cop behind me, but it'll be fun.
You'd be like, how did the broadcast go? I guess really good, man. It was like, congratulations. But anyways, thank you guys.
Shout out to everybody that joined us tonight.
You saying, have a great night, guys. Thanks for everything you do. I appreciate it as well. I appreciate everybody in the chat coming, watching us. I'm sorry that we rambled off onto different subjects, but that's why I love this chat. Is because we can talk about different things, whether it's Cowboy football, whether it's college football.
That's what it's about, man.
That's what it's about with sports people. Just talking, getting it out, not thinking about normal everyday life.
You don't want to just hear us spit with what we think we know. We want everybody's involvement. That's why it's cool.
Yes, I definitely agree. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching the replay. You guys that come back and watch it as well. Thank you for just even coming onto the channel, man. We very much appreciate it, and definitely trying to grow the channel. So share it if you can, subscribe if you can. Thank you, Blue. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you, Mark Holmes, as well, man. Mark has been holding it down, helping us out, getting some subscribers as well, and giving us some advice. So, again, we appreciate the Cowboys community and how they set the bar, man. I love it. And that's the reason why I do the graphics I do is because of a great guy like Skywalker Steel that I look up to. So, hey, man, thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on, and appreciate it again. See you guys later. But don't forget to always ring that bell.
Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
What you do, you're like a little screw loose type of guy, and that's how I am. So I'm digging it, big guy. I am.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
GameTime Bryan, otherwise known as the mailman here.
Cool name. Superpowers?
Broadcasting from the illustrious Jobu Studio.
Come on, are you going to tell me who that is?
Primetime Phil. And, of course, my co-host, Game time, Bryan.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this place is going to explode.
$100,000. I don't even need to hear it.